Good morning, everybody. So before we start, please make sure that you have something you could use like a strap, anything of this manner, and something like a block that can be elevated and firm where you could put some weight on. Go ahead and just set that aside. Find a comfortable seat. Shift around a little so that you can evenly weigh down through both sides of your pelvis, left and right. And take a moment to just rest your hands in your lap and close your eyes. As you're ready, let your body become still, paying more attention to how it feels and to how you feel as you observe the quality of your breath. Tuning into what is in your states of being. What would you like to feel more through this practice? What would you like to cultivate in the way that you move your body, sustain postures and open it, strengthen it, as well as connect with your breathing and your inner being? All kinds of alignments. Now I invite you to keep your eyes closed as we transition into child's pose. This practice is going to be much about seeing with not just our physical eyes. And I will be inviting you to close your eyes through various postures and movements. So coming down to child's pose with your feet touching, if your forehead does not easily touch the ground, please place something under your forehead, like a block. Bring your arms wherever you'd like and just allow this position to physically help to ground you. As we've been moving through the various main 7 energy centers each day, we're now up to the 6th chakra, which is also called the third eye center. I'm going to read a little bit about it here as you start to deepen the breath and exhale through the mouth a few times. So this third eye center is located in the brain, at the brow, and above the base of the nose, just between the eyebrows. The Sanskrit name for it is ajna, which means to perceive, to command. And the earth element associated with it is all the elements combined, which is light. The color is indigo. And the seed sound or mantra is Om. The gift of Ajna chakra is seeing both inner and outer worlds. The energy of this chakra allows us to experience clear thought as well as gifts of spiritual contemplation and self-reflection. Now I invite you, if you have something holding your forehead, to remove it and go ahead and begin to circle. Reach the hands forward, come up through the left side or the right side, and then laterally circle forward, returning back to child's pose. So add some movements here in the spine, especially the lower area and the pelvis, and begin to move synchronized to a slow, steady breathing through the nose. I'm going to read a little more. It allows us to cut through illusion and to access deep truths, to see beyond the mind, beyond the words. The way of the third eye is seeing everything as it is from a point of witness or observer, or from simply being mindful, moment by moment. So now let's come up to all fours and begin cat-cow, however you'd like to adjust your hands. Like if you want a wrist stretch, you can spin the fingertips and turn out, maybe towards the knees. Breathing in as you coil the chest up, breathing out as you contract the belly around the back. Continuing. It means examining self-limiting ideas and developing wisdom that comes from a perspective that transcends the duality of good or bad, black or white. It means seeing and helping others to see the deeper meanings of the situations in their lives. Ajna chakra is our seat of wisdom and seat of conscience. Now, relax to a neutral spine, and we're going to come into our first inversion using that block or object blanket. We're going to place it, start at the tallest height, and then you might want to adjust it lower if needed. Right where under your forehead would be in downward dog. So you want to have the hands slightly forward of that block, perhaps wider than shoulders distance. And then tucking the toes, you want to be able to get the third eye region, which is just between the eyebrows and slightly above the area of the forehead, to gently press against that block so that you actually help to create more space in your neck, not compress it. So as the hands are pressing forward and down, you're lifting the shoulders up and back. And then just take a few breaths here. Like I mentioned before the recording started, we will be going upside down quite a bit in various ways, as it helps us to shift perspective and just to see things in a different way. So imbalances in this chakra can cause lack of concentration, obsessiveness, lack of flexibility of mind, over analytical but missing main factors, and delusional. Deficiency in it results in no imagination or visualization skills, non-assertiveness, weak-willed, don't learn from our mistakes, or can only see one side of the story. But when you balance the third eye chakra, you experience clarity of thought and vision. You are imaginative, intuitive, and see the events in your life as symbolic and lessons to be learned. Now begin to hold still if you're shifting around, and just take a few more deep breaths in downward facing dog. As your forehead is supported by the prop, bring attention to rotating your triceps or outer upper arms towards the floor so that you can broaden the shoulder blades wide across the back ribs while lifting them away from the neck. Firming the belly gently towards the back, lift your tailbone high. Draw your sitting bones back, maybe bending the knees a lot. 2 more deep breaths. So our yoga practice, like I said, is going to look like quite a bit of inversions, gazing meditation at the end, some alternate nostril breathing, which is great for helping to balance left and right hemispheres of the brain, intuitive flow, sometimes with the eyes closed. Here are some affirmations you might want to keep in mind. I seek to understand, let's come down to knees, and to learn from my life experience. Slowly lift your torso up right, we'll meet sitting again. I listen to my deepest wisdom. I am connected with the wisdom of the universe. I trust my intuition. So what are some ways that you explore tuning into your intuition? Lastly, I want to read a short excerpt from this great book called The Intuitive Way, which has many exercises in being more aware of how to use your intuition. It says, intuition occurs naturally when you're living in a fluid way, detached from worries, shoulds, and strong opinions. If you can shift direction easily, adjust your speed to meet the moment's needs, initiate movement, and abandon outworn behaviors, your intuition can become a permanent part of your life. So as we build trust in our inner knowing, sit tall, grounded, lift up to your sternum, broaden your heart space, and place your hands on your stomach as we dive deeper into breath practice. Close the lips, steady your gaze at the third eye center, just between the eyebrows. And using your diaphragm, allow deeper inhales to expand your belly gently, while not adding any tension to your body, like the shoulders or the jaw. With an exhale through the nose, feel the belly hollow. Allow a few more breaths like that, where you're fully expanding belly and then lungs using the diaphragm, and balancing the breath in and out with the mouth closed. So it's like Ujjayi Pranayama. For those of us who've been practicing together for several weeks now, we've been practicing a breath technique called Bhastrika Pranayama, which is energizing, helps to bring oxygen to fully expand the lungs, but also the after effect is helping to clear the mind. So if you'd like to practice that, I'll do a quick demonstration. We begin sitting tall, still breathing through the nose, still eyes closed, but you might want to watch for this. And we begin with the elbows bent apart, hands like fists. With a deep inhale, we raise the arms and the fingers spread, and with a slow exhale, we bend the elbows apart. Well, they're actually rhythmic breaths, so not so slow, but they're equal, and it sounds like this. So making sure that you're breathing through the nose. If you want to start, I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute of that. Do the best that you can. Begin with your elbows bent, hands like fists, neck long, spine tall. Ready? 1 minute, start. And relax. Rest your hands in your lap. Breathe naturally for a moment and just observe how you feel. So we're going to use the heat we just started to build and transfer it into another breath work, Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath. So continue to breathe through your nose, now sustaining the breath equally in and out, while softly narrowing the back of your throat so you feel the breath brush past it and you hear the breath. Create a smooth, gentle, whispering sound. So in the quality of your breathing, you're paying attention to, helping to steady your mind. You're also balancing the effort you exert in your body with a sense of ease and allowing. So notice that in your breathing and gently open your eyes. We're going to grab the strap and come up to stand at the very top of your mat. A little bit of warm up for the shoulders, shoulder flossing. So stand with your feet, hips width and parallel. Take hold of the strap between your hands in front of you with your arms straight. Draw the shoulder heads back and down. Seal in the bottom of your front ribs and then ground evenly through the four corners of your feet. So you want to have the hands apart, wider than shoulders distance. If you know that your shoulders are particularly tight today, go even wider so that you can have a taut grip on the strap while the arms remain straight. On an inhale, we'll start with the strap just in front of your thighs. On an inhale, we'll raise the arms overhead, consciously keeping the shoulders down. As you exhale, you reach the arms back and all the way down. So you might have to give yourself a little more slack if you're not able to come all the way down. Inhale, the arms up. Notice the shoulders remain relaxed the whole time. Exhale, the arms forward and down. So at your own pace of breath, we're going to take maybe 10 more rounds, really using this to warm up the shoulders, add lubrication in the shoulder joints. Now, when you raise your arms overhead, notice if your front ribs begin to protrude forward, causing an overarching in the lower back. If so, be more conscious of hugging in the bottom of your front ribs and anchoring your tailbone towards the ground between your heels. Feel energy in the legs as you root down firmly through the four corners of each foot. Feel the rise of energy up the center line of your body, allowing your crown to lift, your chin to parallel the floor. We've got about 2 more cycles of breath. Steady sound waves of Ujjayi Pranayama. So like I mentioned earlier, I invite you to explore times when you feel okay closing your eyes in the practice and really just practicing seeing from within. Now let's put the strap down. We'll begin to flow slowly into Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, raise your arms overhead, keeping the shoulders relaxed. If they start to shrug, you can bring the hands forward instead of completely overhead. Exhale, bow from your hips. You might bend the knees, especially in the beginning, so as not to round the back. Press your fingertips on the ground ahead or your legs, and inhale, lift the chest into a half forward fold. Gaze towards the tip of your nose. Lower the fingertips on the floor or on blocks outside of your heels, and exhale, step the left knee behind you into a kneeling lunge, untucking the back toes. We're going to keep the hands down here on the floor or on your blocks. As you breathe in, draw the tailbone down and lift your heart up. With your eyes closed for a few breaths, gaze at the space between your eyebrows and invite you to imagine a colored light there. The color is indigo, almost like the color of my shirt. Relax the shoulders behind you and soften them down, feeling space throughout your neck. Allow one more inhalation to broaden your collarbones as you lift your sternum. With your hands flat on the ground, step the right knee back into a modified plank. And now let's pause for a few breaths. Maybe you're still closing your eyes. And though the eyes might be closed, imagine you're gazing at the floor ahead of your hands so as to keep the length and neutral curve of your neck. Root down through fingers spread, rebounding a lift up through the shoulders as you glide them back away from the neck. Keep rotating your triceps towards the rear of your mat. We've got 2 more breaths in plank. Lift the lower belly, draw the tailbone straight back. Now keeping a feeling of a flat back. Exhale, glide way forward. Bend your elbows to hug your side ribs so that they bend halfway down into 90-degree angles directly above the wrist. That's Chaturanga Dandasana. Then lower chest and belly at the same time as you can. As you ground your pubic bone, press the tops of your feet firmly into the mat. Feel that your wrists are beside your floating ribs. Your elbows continue to hug your sides. I invite you to close your eyes for a few breaths in Cobra pose. As you draw the shoulder heads behind you, broaden the chest forward and slightly up. But if your eyes were open, you're gazing on the ground ahead. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. We've got 2 more breaths here to stamp the feeling, the alignment feeling in your body. Rather than looking at a mirror, see it in your mind's eye. Take another deep breath. Press up through all 4s, tuck your toes behind you, and lift your sitting bones as high as you can and as far back away from the hands as you can. Downward facing dog. Allow a deep breath to fill up your belly, side ribs, and chest. Through the nose, whisper it out. On an inhale, raise the left leg slowly behind you, keeping your hips as leveled as possible. As you exhale, engage the belly to softly step the foot inside of your left hand. Lower your right knee, untucking the toes, and feel that your legs are hips distance apart. Your front knee is directly above the heel. As you keep your hands down on blocks or the floor, breathe in and allow your tailbone to draw down towards the earth as your heart lifts up towards the sky. Close your eyes for a few more breaths here in Anjaneyasana, relaxing the fronts of your shoulders back and down and steadying your inward gaze at the space between your eyebrows, envisioning an indigo light. Trusting your ability to know your inner space, allow 1 more breath to fill up the chest. With an exhale, step right foot forward into a forward fold. Firm down through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms to rise all the way up to stand. Let your palms meet. Then exhale, trace your thumbs down the center of your body. Second side, more continuous flow. Inhale, raise your arms overhead. Feel your lungs expand. Exhale, hinge from your hips. You might bend the knees, facilitating length in your spine. Press the ground of your legs. Inhale, float your heart forward, lengthening the spine. Lower the fingertips. Exhale, right knee steps back. Untuck the toes. Keep the hands down. Inhale, just 1 inhale, lift the chest, draw the tailbone down. Maybe the eyes remain closed as you exhale, step to plank, whether knees down or legs straight this time. Exhale from there, forward. Hug the elbows to your sides, bending 90 degrees, then lower all the way down. Ground the feet and pelvis and inhale to cobra. Press the ground with your hands and exhale to downward facing dog. While there, feel the balance of 1 cycle of breath. Then inhale, raise your right leg slowly behind you, keeping the hips balanced. Engage the belly and exhale, lightly step the foot inside of your right hand. Lowering the left knee, untuck the toes, keep the hands down and breathe in. Lift your heart, draw the tailbone down. Breathe out to step forward and bow. Rooting through the legs, inhale, rise up. Palms reaching towards the sun. Exhale, bring your hands down your midline. We're gonna go one more on each side. Whenever you feel ready, close your eyes. Inhale the arms up. A gesture of greeting, salutation. Exhale, bow forward, a gesture of reverence. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen. Step left knee back as you exhale. Hands stay down. Inhale, lift the heart, draw the tailbone down. Step into your plank and exhale, glide forward with control. Center stays contained, either all the way or halfway. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Draw the belly in, exhale to downward facing dog. Pause there for one full breath. Then inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Exhale, set the foot inside of your left hand, lowering your right knee. Keep the hands down. Inhale, float your heart up, anchor your tailbone down. Exhale, step right foot forward to bow. Root down, inhale, rise tall, reaching the palms together. Exhale, trace your midline. Last side. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen your spine, fingertips down. Exhale, right knee steps back, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, anchor the tailbone, float the heart. Exhale, from your plank, glide forward, slowly lower. You choose cobra or upward dog as you breathe in. Exhale, back to downward dog. Pausing there, define the balance in your breath. One cycle. Then inhale, raise your right leg. Contract the belly softly, step the foot inside of right hand. Left knee down. Inhale, broaden and lift your heart space. Exhale, step left foot forward to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms meet to touch. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Now let's take hold of that strap and begin with your feet hips width apart. If you have a yoga block, go ahead and press it, set it between your feet, tallest height. If you don't, we can work around that. Step your left foot back 2/3 as far as you completely could, as if you were in Warrior One, so shorter than Warrior One. Keeping your hips facing forward, all of your feet grounded, even the back heel, and your legs straight. Raise your left hand holding that strap. Dangle it behind you. Rotate your left tricep forward and bend the elbow behind the center of your head. As your left hand lands between the shoulder blades, if you don't have a strap, catch hold of your shirt. Reach the right hand under behind, catch hold of the other end of the strap or your shirt, and walk your hands as close together as you can. If your hands meet, then you can clasp your fingers, broaden the chest where you are, ground to your feet, engage the belly. Then inhale, tilt your heart and gaze up as you press the shoulder blades further down the back. Belly firm, exhale, begin to hinge forward, just a little bit of your range at a time. Pause as you inhale and continue to square the hips. You might need to draw the right hip back, ground the left heel some more while lengthening the spine. Open the throat. Exhale, fold another little bit. So breath by breath, exploring the range of your pyramid pose, this forward fold. Yet another inversion. The head below the heart. Let's give it 2 more breaths. Keep drawing the belly towards the spine, broadening the chest. Honor the natural space between chin and chest. Continue to energize the legs as they're your stable base of support physically. And on an inhale, lift your spine to parallel the floor. Place your left hand on the inside of your right foot on the block or on the ground, or for more challenge in the twist, place it on the right side of your right foot. Using your right thumb, hook the crease of your right outer hip and draw it back just to re-level the hips. Lengthen your spine down the center line of your mat as you press the shoulder blades down the back. Keeping all that length, Exhale, rotate your chest to face your right wall, coming into revolved triangle pose. You might raise the right arm towards the sky, so the palm faces that right wall too, helping to broaden the right side of your chest. Now let's take 3 more balance breaths. Can you still hear it as it glides past the back of your throat? Maybe close your eyes. Now look down at your right foot. Begin to crawl your 2 hands, your fingertips, forward of that right foot, maybe on blocks, as we prepare for a modified warrior 3, taking flight. So re-level the hips, gaze past where you place your hands in an effort of shifting your weight forward as you flex the left foot off the floor. Now you might bend the right knee and re-tack that right outer hip back while turning the left outer hip more to face the ground. Remember plank? When you engage the lower belly and broaden the chest forward, finding the natural curve and length of your neck, integrate that as you firm the muscles in your legs. Maybe you raise a finger or hands. Maybe you reach them forward and play with a little more fire. However you want to vary it. Let's take 3 last breaths. In warrior 3. Maybe close your eyes. As you set your hands back down, set your left foot hips distance from the right and place one of your blocks between your feet. Grab your strap. Inhale with hands and hips. Lead with your chest to lift your spine. Let's step the right foot back 2/3 as far as you would in warrior 1, keeping the feet hips width apart so both heels are on the ground and both hips are facing forward while legs are straight. Raise your right arm, holding the strap to dangle behind you. Wrap your right tricep to slightly face forward. As you bend the right elbow behind the center of your head, drop your right palm between the shoulder blades. If no strap, grab hold of your shirt. Reach the left hand under behind, catch the other end of the strap or your shirt, and walk your hands as close together as you can. Maybe they clasp. Now as you reground the feet and spread the toes, not grip that, engage the belly, engage the legs, lead with your chest. Look up, breathe in. Exhale, fold just a little bit of your range, then pause. Inhale, realign the hips squared, firm the muscles in the fronts of your thighs and belly. Exhale, fold another little bit. Keep going, breath by breath, honoring the space at your throat to welcome the breath. As you honor the length of your spine entirely, broaden the chest. Maybe close your eyes as we're bowing here. In Parvottanasana, pyramid pose. Continue to engage your quadriceps, your abdomen, lifting from the chest. Inhale, raise your spine parallel to the floor. Place the right hand down on the right side of your front foot, maybe on a block, or on the left side. You want to add more challenge or depth to the twist. And then hook your left thumb on the outer crease of your left hip, drawing it back just enough to re-level the hips, while elongating your spine forward down the midline of your neck. Press the shoulders back. Take a deep breath, and at your waistline begin to twist, turning your chest to the left as you exhale. Each inhale, feel stability through your feet and legs, and elongate the spine. Maybe raise the left arm so the palm faces the left wall. Each exhale, continue to twist. Maybe close the eyes as we take 3 more breaths in Parita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. And lower your 2 hands in front of your left foot, maybe on blocks, so they're about 1 foot forward of your left toes and their shoulders width apart, preparing for modified warrior 3. Look on the ground beyond your hands and begin to shift your weight forward, flexing your right toes to face the floor as you lift the heel to the height of your hip. You might use the left thumb again to help tap the left hip back and also help to bend the left knee. especially if you're experiencing tightness in your hamstrings. By gazing past the ground just below you, encourage broadening and lengthening your chest forward. And for the last 3 breaths, maybe play with variations with your arms or closing your eyes. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana. Lowering your hands when you're ready, set the right foot to touch the left, in a forward fold. Sweep the arms and inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, join your hands together at your height. So I'm going to face you, but stay right where you are as we prepare to balance and retreat. Shifting your weight onto your right foot, turn out your left leg at the hip socket. Hug the sole of your left foot against your inner right ankle. Toes can remain on the ground. Your inner calf, just not pressing the knee. Or your inner thigh, where you might have to catch hold of the ankle to lift it that high. Now feel as though your left and right hips were 2 ends of a scale or a seesaw that you're trying to balance while engaging your center that's right below the belly button. Think of drawing the lower belly inward towards the spine and slightly upward towards the heart. As you firm down for the right foot, feel a lift through the center line of your body. Now as we take a few last breaths in Vrikshasana tree, maybe close your eyes or anything you feel like playing with, as we know that play can be powerful and it helps us to connect with our inner child spirit. Our ability to let go of certain conditionings of how we have to be as adults and find freedom within. Even if it means falling a bit and coming back up, trusting our strength. And then as you're ready, join your hands, set your left foot down, and just shake it out. Side 2, bring your feet to touch. Spread your toes. As you shift your weight onto your left foot, turn out your right leg from the hip. Hug the inside of your left ankle. You might keep the toes on the floor, inner calf, or inner thigh. Bring your mind's eye to your 2 hips and rebalance both sides. Feel the bowl shape of your pelvis as you contain your center, drawing lower belly in and up. Feel the support of the earth that you're pressing into to feel more spacious and uplifted. Maybe close the eyes. How is your breath an instrument for your balance here? Couple last breaths. In tree pose, Vrikshasana. And set your right foot down. One more time, shake or dance it out. Let's come up to the top of the mat. We're going to enter a new flow. Set it up, imprint the feeling of each shape, and then maybe close your eyes as we flow intuitively. Bring your feet to touch, preparing for chair pose, bend your knees to touch. Those of you who are looking for more rigor, graze the ground with your fingertips. Shift your weight towards your heels, so if you look down, you can see your toes. The shins are not in the way. Then look forward and broaden your chest. If your shoulders shrug, you can bring the arms further forward. Draw the tailbone down and firm in the lower belly. Let's take 2 more breaths, maybe closing the eyes. Stamp the feeling of this shape in your body. Utkatasana, chair pose. With an exhale, shift your weight forward and fold. Press your legs to the ground. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen your spine forward. Plant your hands flat on the ground. Either lightly jump to Chaturanga, step back to your version of plank and lower, or take a cat-cow instead of a full vinyasa. Go at your pace of breath all the way through. Cobra or upward facing dog. Meeting in downward dog. Hug your outer hips towards your midline to keep them balanced while you inhale to raise the right leg behind you. Engage the belly and exhale softly as you can. Land the right foot in between your hands, directly in between. Spin the back heel down so the toes are slightly facing the front, and align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot, preparing for Warrior Two. As you root down through your feet, windmill your arms and lift your torso upright, spreading your wings. Now, I invite you to close your eyes as we stamp adjustments through sensation here. Feel the outside edge of your left foot firming into the ground as you straighten the left leg, firming the top of your left thigh bone back, which is towards the right wide width of your mat. Keeping those actions, feel the turnout of your right leg, wrapping the right sitting bone down and slightly under your body towards the earth. While your right knee and middle toe face the midline of your mat forward, bend the front knee just over the heel. Feel the bowl shape of your pelvis, sitting upright, allowing full length through your spine as you relax the shoulders down. Feel the reach of your arms, your fingertips. Let's take one more breath in. Then straighten your legs, but keep firming both feet down, flipping the right palm to face up. Sweep it overhead for a lateral reach towards the rear wall of your room. Left hand lightly lands on the left leg in reverse triangle pose. Notice your right knee and middle toes still feel like they're facing forward, not buckling to the left. Let's take one more full cycle of breath. In and out. On your next inhale, sweep the right arm in front of your torso, landing both hands to frame your right foot. Step to plank or all fours, and lower into your choice of vinyasa or none. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Isn't it beautiful to know that any given time you can change it up because you always have a choice? Take a deep breath in. Let's open the mouth, make a loud sound if you like. Then close the lips again. Keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you. Contract the belly, exhale, round and step the foot directly between your hands. Spin the right heel down, aligning left heel to arch of right foot. Root down through your feet. Inhale, windmill your arms to rise. Warrior Two. It's a grounding and focus enhancing posture. Know that each posture actually targets various energy centers within your body. We don't only have 7, like the 7 chakras, but those are the main ones. So trust, so much is happening here that our physical eyes can't see. Feel the weight of your outer right foot rooting down as you straighten the right leg and firm the top of the thigh bone back towards the left wide width of your mat. Maintaining that as you bend the front knee just over the heel, aligning middle of knee with middle left toe down the midline of your mat. Feel your pelvic bowl upright with a lift in your heart. Expand your wings. Reach through your fingertips. Relax something, and let's take 2 more deep breaths. Stamp the memory in your mind's eye of how this posture feels when you arrive at your fullest expression as it is now, knowing that changes moment to moment. Straighten your legs, flip the left palm up, and sweep the left arm laterally towards the rear of your mat. Right hand lands lightly on right leg as we open up the left side body with a couple more breaths. Reverse triangle pose. With your next inhale, sweep the left arm in front of your torso, landing both hands to frame the left foot. Step back to plank, choose to flow or hold plank, maybe cat-cow. Rest in child's pose whenever you need. We'll meet in downward facing dog. This time allowing breath to flow for 3 to 5 cycles. Creating a space for perspective and awareness. So while we're about to flow continuously, meaning one breath part per motion, it's with a mindfulness and clarity from the inside out. See how much you can feel your postures. So I invite you to close your eyes whenever you feel inspired to. Bend your knees, gaze past the hands, step or lightly jump, feet touch. With an inhale, lift your heart, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale to fold. Knees touch. Inhale, sink your weight towards your heels in chair pose. Press to your feet and exhale, rise tall and mountain. And now we just finished one full cycle. Let's flow through 2. Inhale into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Float back, step back, however you want to flow or no flow through your vinyasa or not. We'll meet in downward facing down. Pay attention to your pace of your breath, more so than the pace that I'm talking. When you get to downward, inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, the foot between the hands. Spin the back heel down toward your chin. Then inhale, windmill your arms to rise. Straighten the legs, flip the right palm, exhale, sweep the right arm overhead into reverse triangle. Sweep the right arm in front of you and lower your 2 hands to plank. Take your vinyasa of choice and we'll meet in downward facing down. At your pace of breath. From there, inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale the foot between your hands, spin the right heel down. Inhale, cartwheel the arms wide into warrior 2. Straighten the left leg, flip the left palm. Exhale into reverse triangle. Sweep the left arm in front of you, lower 2 hands to frame the left foot, and add your vinyasa. We'll meet again in downward. This time for several breaths. As we hold still here, what is most pronounced in your body seeking your attention through any sensation right now? Bring your mind's eye there. Allowing a dialogue by shining the spotlight of your breath in that area through visualization. One more full breath. So at the bottom of the exhalation, you hold the breath out while walking or lightly jumping to the front of your mat. Forward. With feet touching. Inhale to the chest and lengthen forward. Exhale to fold. With knees touching, bend your knees, sit back. Inhale to chair pose. Then exhale to rise, entering our last cycle of this flow. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. I invite you to change it up in any creative way you feel inspired. Inhale, lengthen halfway. I'm just adding cues in case you want to stick to the skeleton of the flow, but you can digress as you need, trusting your own intuition. Downward dog, inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, the foot between the hands. Inhale, windmill the arms to warrior 2. Exhale, reverse triangle pose. Sweep the right arm in front, inhale to plank. Flow, or maybe you come into a side plank or something different. You choose. Spice it up, play with it. We'll meet in downward facing dog if you're going my pace. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, the foot between the hands, right heel down. Inhale, windmill the arms, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse triangle, straighten the legs. Sweep the left arm in front, inhale, plant the hands to plank pose. Flow or no flow, whatever else you'd like to add. We'll meet in downward facing dog. 3 to 5 breaths. So as you arrive here, regather. Check in. How's the quality of your breathing? Can you feel the balance of exertion and allowing? bend the knees, look forward. At the end of the breath, lift your pelvic floor as you hold the breath out. Walk or float to the top. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. With knees bent. Inhale, sit low in chair. Exhale to rise up. Mountain pose. So take a moment in mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your feet to touch. And actually lift the toes and spread them so you're flexing the feet, engaging the fronts of your thighs. Now, think of your inner thighs slightly spinning towards the back wall. You're not pigeon-toeing the feet because they're touching, but it's as if you were, but just from your thigh bones at the hips. Now, as you do that, you might feel a broadening across the lower back and even an overarching in the lower back. To balance it out, actively anchor the tailbone downward at the same time towards your inner heels. Feel how that action contains the center and engages the belly. Soften the bottom of your front ribs towards your back. Now extend the arms forward, keep the energy of your legs and feet as we were doing, and rotate your triceps towards the ground so the palms flip up slightly. Now imagine you're hugging a block between your elbows so they don't splay wider than shoulders distance. Keep them exactly shoulders distance, and now bend the elbows. Interlace your fingers and coil the pinky fingers like a snail. You see that? I'm not sure if you can see it. There it is. And now, imagine you're pressing your forearms and elbows against a wall. Elbows remain shoulders distance. You continue to create space in the neck. You spread the shoulder blades apart by rotating triceps towards the floor, which means you're stabilizing your scapula using your latissimus dorsi. And you're energizing the legs as you flex the feet. Now begin to lift the elbows towards the ceiling. Does that start to cause overarching in the lower back? Continue to contain the center, draw the tailbone down, elongate the spine. Now your forearms are pressing against the ceiling. We're imagining. Bring the very back of your head against the palms. Coil the snail pinky fingers. And imagine the very crown of your head is pressing into the ceiling as well as your forearms and elbows. Elongate your neck. Draw the shoulder blades down. Spread the shoulder blades onto the back ribs. Elongate the tailbone towards the heels. Firm the belly, flex the feet, feel them touch. 3 more breaths. Exactly, you are in headstand, standing on your feet. So now we're gonna play with just the setup. You can decide to lift the leg or not, but we're just gonna set it up. So come down to your knees. Place your elbows on the floor exactly, shoulders width apart. Interlace your fingers with some space between the heels of the palms, creating that snail out of your pinky fingers, because you want to have the inner webbing of your hands be able to contain the back of your head. So you take this as far as you feel, that as your body tells you it's okay. If you have neck issues, don't actually put your head on the floor, just set up the forearms and you'll go into dolphin pose like this. Okay? That's always an option. But here, bring the very, very top of your head to the ground so that when you put your head down, you're creating the natural curvature of your neck, not compressing it, and it doesn't feel like your chin is closing your throat, nor is your chin over lifting away from the chest. You just feel the natural curvature. Then firm down to the forearms and begin to lift the pelvis. So it's like dolphin pose with your head down. If the hamstrings are tight, you might need to bend the knees a lot here. But if it feels okay, bring the feet to touch, engage the belly, press the shoulder blades away from the neck and wide apart, triceps rotating towards the rear of the mat. You might start to lift one leg and flex the foot. Remember energy in the legs. You might switch legs, making sure that you're putting little weight on your head and the majority of your weight is actually on your forearms and elbows, which helps you to release the shoulders away from the neck. Maybe you start to hover a foot. Maybe you start to lift it. If you're lifting both legs, imagine you're pushing the balls of your feet into the sky, into the ceiling. That sounds more solid. And you're elongating the tailbone towards the space between the heels, like we did standing on our feet doing this posture. Front ribs seal in, tailbone lengthens up, shoulders right under pelvis, pelvis right under ankles. And to come out of it, try to very slowly lower one foot, then the other foot, or both at the same time. We'll meet in child's pose when you're ready. Shirshasana, headstand. When you do come down to rest, you might like to give your shoulders an extra rest by wrapping the arms down outside of your shins, and your neck a gentle stretch by turning one ear towards the floor. A few breaths, and then switching the opposite ear. Now observe your breathing and the window it gives into your nervous system. As you rebalance your breathing, rebalance your nervous system. As you feel ready, let's slither onto our stomachs, lying face down with the legs straight back, with the option of either interlacing the fingers, keeping the legs straight as we lift into bound lokas, or taking the back bend a little further by bending the knees and catching hold of your outer feet into bow dhanurasana. If you have lower back issues, I suggest doing the first one, where you keep the hands clasped. So make sure that your knees don't splay wider than hips distance in either one of these. And when you're ready, take your posture for 5 to 10 deep breaths. Notice that your neck is not strained because you're looking slightly down, even if your eyes are closed. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Focusing the back to bend right under the shoulder blades as you elongate your tailbone towards the space between your knees. Full breaths, enlivening your lungs and every cell in your body. Now, what was your intention? Perhaps bring that into your breath. And when you decide to let it all go, you might like to make a pillow for your head out of your forearms and just give your pelvis some movement to feel mobility again in your hips. You could sway the shins together side to side. Take a deep breath into your belly, helping to stimulate your digestive organs, massaging against the ground. Lion's breath a couple of times, or flutter your lips to help relax the mouth. Then press your hands alongside your floating ribs. Let's slide into child's pose, extending the arms forward for just 3 breaths. Inhale into the belly. Exhale through the mouth. Couple more. Draw the sitting bones downward. Lengthen the neck as you press the shoulders back while reaching the fingertips forward. Then place your hands alongside your knees and slowly roll the spine upright as you breathe in. Rising to sit, extend your left leg forward. Bring the sole of your right foot onto your inner left thigh for Janu Shirshasana. Place the left fingertips on the ground beside your left hip and raise the right arm. Maybe you have a strap you're wrapping around the ball of the foot and you're holding it with the right hand. Flex the left foot, root down through the sitting bones, and lift through the spine as you breathe in. Now first twist so that your chest faces the upper left corner of your room. Then fold in that direction, little by little, breath by breath. Now, if you're not holding the strap, press the back of your right hand against the outside of your left leg or catch hold of your outer ankle or foot. As you're elongating the sternum forward, notice the clear space between chin and chest while sliding shoulder blades down the back. Root your right sitting bone a little deeper, and let's take 2 more breaths. Lifting from the sternum at the middle of your chest, breathe in to slowly rise up. And right to the other side. So straighten the right leg forward, bring the sole of your left foot high on the inner thigh, and flex your right foot. If you're using a strap around the ball of the foot, hold it with your left hand. Place your right hand on the ground outside of your right hip, draw the shoulders back and down and sit taller as you breathe in. First, twist to your right, and then exhale, fold towards the upper right corner of your room, little by little. See if you can make your left sitting bone feel a little heavier as you fold further. Feel the open space at your throat and all the sides of your neck. 2 more breaths. in this Parita Janushirshasana, revolved forward fold. Lead with your sternum, breathe in to slowly rise up. So we're going to enter alternate nostril breathing, which is a wonderful pranayama for not only relaxing the nervous system, help us prepare for shavasana and meditation. If you also add that, find a comfortable seat. It might be nice to sit elevated towards the front edge of a block so the spine is easily upright and the body is relaxed. Also, alternate nostril breathing, also called Nodi Shodhana, helps to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain, all within that third eye center area. So rest your left hand on your lap. You might like to bring your thumb and first finger to touch, just to help feel interconnected. And with your right hand, stick out your thumb, pinky, and ring finger. Now closing your lips, sustain your breath softly in and out through your nose. And eventually you might close your eyes and steady your gaze again at the third eye center area. We'll begin, and then as you feel the pattern repeat, continue at your own pace whenever you feel ready. Exhale this breath completely and hold it out. Cover right thumb, right nostril with right thumb. Inhale through left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in for 3, 2, 1. Cover left nostril, last 2 fingers. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath, 3, 2, 1. Cover right nostril with right thumb. Exhale left, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in, 3, 2, 1. Cover left nostril. Exhale right, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out in 3, 2, 1. Keep going, your own pace of breath. As you finish this last cycle of breath, release both hands in your lap, keeping your eyes closed to observe inward. Now breathing naturally, start to lower your body into a comfortable position of rest for a few minutes of shavasana. as your body remains still and you just observe it as well as your breath. I'm going to read a few affirmations again and helping us to feel balanced through the third eye energy center. But I invite you to sink it in the way that calls to you. Maybe put it in your own words, feel it in your way. I seek to understand and to learn from my life experiences. I listen to my deepest wisdom. I am connected with the wisdom of the universe. I trust my intuition. To enter our gazing meditation for the last 2 minutes, begin to move your body gently. Maybe you keep the eyes closed as you slowly lift your body upright to sit. Find an object nearby that's simple. It could even be one of your yoga props that you can just set in front of you, about eye level or slightly lower, where you can still maintain an upright posture, a relaxed body, and natural breath. So this meditation, Trataka, is focusing your eyes to steady its gaze gently on one object. As you fixate, the eyes soften the muscles around them. Eyes can be completely open or partially open. As you continue gazing at the object, if your eyes grow tired, close your eyes and try to hold an image of the object with the space internally between your eyebrows. If you're holding the image with eyes closed and the image fades, gently reopen your eyes. And close them again if they get tired. Reconjuring the image in your mind's eye. Still feel your breathing natural. Now you might choose to keep your eyes closed, and that's fine too. Bring your attention to your body and what it's sitting on. Your attention to your surroundings, though your gaze is steady or inward. Just regaining perspective now of your outside world again. Perhaps you softly flutter the eyes open, bringing the hands together at your hearts. Let's close the practice together. May we continue to trust our inner being and find ways to connect from that perspective of soul, whether through free-form writing, dancing, moving, singing, art. Let's close with a seed sound of this energy center, Om. Take a deep breath in. light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.